The Wrestle Ramble is proudly partnered with W Energy. W is a fast-growing energy formula designed to give you laser focus without the jitters or crash. Whether you're a gamer, content creator, or just in need of an energy boost, W has you covered. Visit w.gg and use code WrestleRamble to save 10% off your order at checkout. A special thank you again to W Energy for partnering with us here at the Wrestle Ramble. I would have been watching the WWF too. You know, you gotta have the good wrestling with the what the fuck is going on wrestling. But, you know, I still would have been watching this. Hello and welcome to the Wrestle Ramble. I'm your host, Angelus Walker, better known as CyberAngelusX over on YouTube, but you can call me AJ for short. Now, first and foremost, I know on the last episode, I said, oh, the Wrestle Ramble is back. You know, we're back. It's so good to be back, yada yada. And then disappeared for a month. Look here. Look, listen, okay? Things happen, okay? Life tends to get in the way. Y'all know I say this every other episode. You know, this podcast is a passion project. Now, I just want to say I'm not going to always be able to regularly upload, but when I have the time, I like to come back and just get back to doing exactly this. I've loved everything that I've done with the podcast, and you know what? It doesn't really feel like we're coming up on 1 year since I launched it. Like, man, that's so crazy. But I've had fun with everything that I've done so far, and this is just season 1. WCW in 2000 is just season 1. I already got the next couple of seasons in the bag because as long as I have the ability to, blah, 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 I can't talk. As long as I have the ability to, it might take a little bit here and there, but I plan on doing this podcast for a good while. And that's first and foremost. I have to just set everything straight, let you all know we're not going anywhere. The podcast hasn't just disappeared, you know, I haven't stopped it or anything like that. It's just taken a little bit of a back seat to a couple of other things that I have going on right now, which I'll actually touch base on here in just a minute. Now, if I sound kind of different, that's because I'm not in my usual setup. Or in my usual office area, and that's because I actually moved recently. I moved not too far away from where I was before, but I don't have my soundproofing panels, and I don't have everything exactly set up in my office and my recording area just yet. But I wanted to go ahead and get this episode out because I didn't do an episode in August, and that was a little bit of a bummer, not gonna lie. Personally, I think I could have tried harder a little bit, but like I said, I had a couple of things that was going on, and I'll touch base on those in just a second. But yeah, I moved. We pretty much got everything squared away, and it's been real good. It's been real fun, real nice, real quiet. Thank goodness. I've loved being where I am, and it's a step in the right direction, and I'm excited to see what all we're gonna get accomplished at this new place, because I definitely want to try and tap a little bit more into my creative side this next, however long I'm here. But I definitely want to get back to my creative stuff, regardless of whether that's making a YouTube video, which SSD video. I still have to do that. I don't want to talk about it. But whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's podcasting, or whatever other creative ideas or ventures I'll have down the line, I really just want to start getting back into that and just try and shine a little bit more light on that, because I feel like that's a part of myself that I kind of put off to the side and kind of quieted down a little bit. But, you gotta let that creative side out every once in a while. You gotta let it shine loud and proud. So I'm definitely gonna not immediately, I don't want to set a schedule or say, oh, I'm going to upload on this day, and this day. I don't know when I'm going to upload, truth be told. I'm going to upload when I have the ability to, and just go from there. I would like to say, those that continue to listen to the show, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you. Seeing those numbers get bigger and better, because I don't really check the numbers and the analytics, I think those are called. I don't really check that stuff like that. Whenever I first started making these episodes, I would check it every other day or so, every other couple days, just to see how the numbers were doing. But after a while, I said to myself, nah, this is something that I wanted to do myself. Obviously nobody made me do this, but I wanted to just get a podcast out, because I already had the idea for a podcast last year, and I'm probably going to revisit that idea, but I wanted to have sort of like a passion project that was specifically for wrestling, and just someplace that would kind of be my platform, I guess, where I can just talk about whatever wrestling I want to. And I could do that with a YouTube channel, but doing it with a podcast just seems like it's a little bit more fun. And I've had fun, and I'm glad I experimented with it. And so we have a couple of other things that I'm gonna be switching up here, or at least trying. You gotta try new things. We have a couple of things that I do want to try here on the podcast, and I'll just sprinkle them in intermittently here and there. It's not going to be anything too crazy, but just try and have a little bit of a different flair, and maybe take it in a little bit of a different direction whenever we are a little bit further into WCW, and then when we're closing up with season 1, and then working our way towards season 2. But thank you to everyone that has continued to listen to the show. I love and appreciate you all so much. All of your stinking cute faces. I appreciate you kindly. That's one thing. I have a couple of other things that I want to touch base on, and then we're going to get into the real meat and taters here. I know exactly why you're here. You want that good old-fashioned wrestling, that down south wrestling. Well, don't worry, I got you covered. We're going to get to that here in just a second. It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit since I've sat and just talked into the microphone. So sorry if I am rambling a little bit, but hey, that's the namesake of the podcast, right? Just want to catch you all up on what's been going on with me. As I said, I recently moved, so that was a good portion of what was taking up time. I don't actually think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, or maybe I have. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm also in the process of studying to get my insurance adjusting license. And so I actually did take the test a couple of weeks ago. I unfortunately didn't pass. And so ever since, I just took some time to kind of regroup, reassess the situation, and not really be down on myself, because that first day, I had seen and I had heard people say that they didn't get it on the first go. And so I kind of had an idea that okay, if I don't pass, it's not the end of the world. I can retake it. But part of me definitely wanted to get it on the first go and then just be done with it. Well, Lady Luck unfortunately did not shine down upon me, and so I am going to have to go back, retake that test. But in the meantime, I just took some time because I crammed for weeks trying to study that. And it just unfortunately didn't play out in the end. But after that, I took a little bit of time, just, kind of give myself a minute to regroup and not really look at anything related to that, because I feel like I kind of overloaded myself a little bit. And just that morning, it was a little bit hectic. And so that didn't really do any favors for me either. So I am going to definitely go back and retake it. And so ever since, I've just been going back through my course, trying to figure out where exactly I went wrong and trying to find some additional material that will help me. Anything that can help me get it on the next go, because like I said, I'm trying to get it done, lickety split, be on and onwards and upwards. I have things I'm trying to do. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to get it again. No worries, I got knocked down, but I'm going to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep on trucking. I'm absolutely going to have my license come hell or high water, so no sweat there. So moving, insurance license. Gosh, I also worked 2 wrestling shows within that span of time. God, those were great shows to work, and thank you, a special thank you to both DCW, Dominant Championship Wrestling, and Firestar Pro Wrestling. Thank you all for allowing me to come out and do work on those shows. DCW held their Fight for Glory 2 show on August 6th. Fantastic show. I had a lot of fun working that, and I actually came back and worked as a cameraman again, and I had a minute where I was just, oh my gosh, it was the first entrance. It was Blade Brown and Zuka King coming out, and I think it might have been Blade Brown's entrance. Now, before the show had started, they told me that they wanted me to work 2 cameras. They wanted me to work just my normal roaming camera, but then they also had a separate camera that they wanted me to use for entrances. Never used this kind of camera before, okay? Never used it, not once, okay? Everything was fine. Everything was good, Had the lens down, had the little mini viewer open. I'm ready to go. I'm good to go. Show starts. I look down, I notice kind of blurred, and I'm like, I don't know how to fix this. So I'm just, in my mind, I put my hand in front of the lens, like, trying to make it focus, like how you try to make the lens on your phone focus. It kind of worked, but not really. By the time I actually was able to get it focused and everything was good to go, Blade Brown was already in the ring, and I was just like, well, shit. Please don't fire me. I'm new. I've done this camera work less than 5 times. You gave me a camera that I have never used before. The rest of the show, fantastic. Honestly, I don't think I did a bad job. I think actually it turned out really good. Literally just that first entrance. Maybe Zuka King's entrance? Maybe. I don't entirely remember, but I'm pretty sure it was okay. Blade Brown's entrance, though, that's my bad. That's my bad. That's on me. I'm sorry. Please let me come back. But yeah, it was a great show, man. If you guys are ever in the North Carolina area, or the Selma, North Carolina area specifically, and you can make it out to one of the DCW shows at the Richard B. Harrison Gym, absolutely come out. Fantastic show. You're going to get some great pro wrestling. And I've had the honor now, as I said, I've worked as a cameraman a couple of times for them now. I've had the honor of seeing the first world champion crowned, seeing the first world tag team champions crowned, and they actually crowned the first women's champion at the last show that they did. So that was another just honor. Like, I don't think I can really express it enough. Like, as I'm humbled, honestly, to be able to come out to these wrestling shows and that they've allowed me to work them as well, because it's been a dream come true. And even though I'm just doing camera work right now and behind the scenes stuff, it is definitely still my ultimate goal to one day actually be an active wrestler in the ring. And who knows, you know, I saw the first DCW world champ crowned. Might be coming for that belt at some point. You never know. I'll just say it. I let that belt be looking real good. Looking at you, Zuka King. So that was a great show. Man, I got to see my first DLC match. And if you don't know what a DLC match is, it's doors, ladders, and chairs. Whew, I almost got hit with a ladder, man. But it was great. It was so fun. And being a cameraman and being able to sit there and shoot that, and it was my first DLC match, like, man, I don't think I could have asked for a better experience. And not only that DCW show, but all of the DCW shows that I've been to. Next up, Firestar show. It was about 2 weeks or so later. My first Firestar show, Jesus, easy for me to say. So many S's. It was my first Firestar show of the year. I've been so busy this year, and I've also mainly been working DCW. Worked DCW, worked UPW back in April, but this was my first Firestar show, and what a first Firestar show it was. Man, Wrestle Revival 11. Gosh, that was just fantastic. And this was my second Wrestle Revival. I was supposed to go to Wrestle Revival 10 and help out with that last year, but again, I had some family stuff that was going on, so I unfortunately couldn't make it to that. But this was my second one. Wrestle Revival 9 was the first for me. Sorry. If you hear a little jingle in the background, it's just my cat, Salem. We've had to, he's apparently losing his mind right now. We had to get a little bell for him because he unfortunately has epilepsy. And so we've just had to keep an eye on him and make sure that he's been monitored. It took him a while because they started to become kind of moderate a little bit. But he's been doing a whole lot better. We've had to give him some CBD on top of his normal medication that he has to have every couple of hours, but he's been doing real good. Still a pain in my ass, but he's been doing real good. Back to that wrestling, that down south wrestling. Firestar put on an absolutely fantastic show. Everybody did pretty much just a fantastic job. There was really only one match throughout the entire show where I was kind of like, it was okay. But I didn't dislike any of the matches. Everybody came out, they gave it their all, they put on a fantastic show, and everybody at the point seemed like they were having a great time. I had a great time with some of the other wrestlers. I just hung back, kind of just kicked back with them on the sidelines and just had fun. We just we just sat there, we enjoyed the show. We hassled the wrestlers in the ring for a little bit, which was really fun. But it was great, man. And I can't wait to regularly wrestle for Firestar, and I can't wait to regularly be in training. As soon as I'm able to to get that insurance license, and I'm regularly doing stuff with that, and I'm able to be a little bit more financially stable. Man, I can't wait to get in the ring. That's going to be so much fun. And especially now that I've started to work at a couple of other companies like DCW and UPW, man, I cannot wait to actually wrestle for them and maybe hold gold in them one day. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see what the future entails. I had to set up my computer again because for whatever reason, it would not boot. I tried pretty much everything that I could think of, even trying to boot from the BIOS, and nothing would work. And I eventually just said screw it and just completely put a different operating system on there, because I'd been familiar with Windows pretty much all my life up until about a couple years ago, whenever I took a class and I started to get a little bit more into IT and cybersecurity. And I started to learn a little bit more about the other operating systems, got a little bit more familiar with Linux. And then whenever I especially got the Steam Deck and I started to use Steam OS, I was like, man, this is it right here. Like, I really like Linux. And so because I was already having the issues trying to get my computer to load anyway, I just pretty much did a complete system wipe, loaded up Linux Mint on here. I don't remember which version it was. Loaded Linux Mint up on here, and I've just been rocking and rolling with this ever since. And man, I've had such a fun time with this. Man, I love Linux. It's so great. It's so freeing, and I don't know why. Like, it feels liberating. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's, God, man, I don't know if I'll ever actually go back to Windows. Like, this is it right here, man. I mean, it's been a little bit of a pain because I've been trying to get a server up and running on it. And so it's not exactly the easiest thing to do in Linux. That is one thing that I do kind of prefer with Windows, but I mean, that's just few and far between, honestly. The good definitely outweighs the bad, at least from what I've seen so far with Linux. Jesus, I can't talk. But man, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted and let you guys know if I'm switching at any point in time, because I actually was going to install Ubuntu. I was going back and forth between that and Mint, and ultimately I just settled with Mint, and I just wanted to see how it worked and just see if I would like it. And it's been pretty good so far. It's been pretty good. It's treated me pretty all right. I have had a few hiccups here and there, but as I said, they've been far and few between. But really, it's just going to come down to seeing how it performs over time, and I'll just keep you guys posted and let you guys know if I decide to swap over to Ubuntu, however you say that, or if I go back to Windows. But I really think Windows, the only reason why I would go back would be like for a virtual machine or something. I don't know if I would actually use it as my main operating system again, but never say never. You know, I might have to use it for work or something. I've also been just trying to switch up and change some of my favorite ways to take in like my favorite media, I guess is the way that I would put that. Like, I've recently gotten into audiobooks, and so I've been listening to the Halloween audiobooks, which, if you guys don't know, I am a huge fan of Halloween. That's probably one of my favorite series of all time. That and Godzilla, maybe Fast and Furious. That's you gotta take that with a pinch of salt. But I've been reading some audiobooks, the Halloween audiobooks, like I said. I got a couple of other ones that it's already in the back burner. Like, I'm adding them to the list. Like, my catalog is slowly but surely growing. And I actually, this morning, bought a Godzilla comic, which I'd never thought I would be the type of person to actually buy comics or be interested in comics. But hey, yo, Ain't nobody tell me that comics go crazy like this. I have literally seen Batman versus Godzilla, the Justice League versus Godzilla, Predator versus Wolverine, Godzilla versus the Power Rangers, the Punisher versus the entire Marvel Universe. Like, yo, nobody told me that comics go crazy like this. Like, it's wild. So I bought a Godzilla comic this morning, and the one that stood out to me and immediately caught my eye, Godzilla Goes to Hell. Like, oh my god, give me that, bro. I bought the first issue and I already read through it. Only $2. Definitely gonna get the next one. I'm absolutely interested to see where this is gonna go, and I'll keep you guys posted, let you know if I'm gonna buy any other comics, Godzilla or whatever, you know. It doesn't matter if it's DC. I saw a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, Marvel comics. Definitely want to read a couple of the Marvel comics, and just really just dive into it, because man, that shit's kind of crazy. That shit is kind of crazy. And if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, any ones you think that I should pick up, please get in contact with me. You can reach me on social media. I think I have links in the description down below, or the show notes, whatever those are called. So yeah, just get up in contact with me. The best place to contact me might be on Discord, because that is where I spend a good portion of my time. My username on there is King of Kaijus 99, I think that's what it is, or CyberAngelusX. I'm not sure which is the actual handle, but it's one of those. Just type that in, because I don't think they actually do the little like hashtag numbered doodads anymore. But you know, if you ever want to talk about Godzilla comics, Punisher comics, Halloween audiobooks, that wrestling shit, you know, that good old wrestling, you know, that old man wrestling. We're getting that old man wrestling here in just a second. If you ever want to talk with me about that, I will leave a link for my Instagram, my Twix, which is just my Twitter account. If you don't know, that's just called what I call X, Twitter, Twix. You get it. You get it. You get it. I'll leave a link to all that down below. And I don't think my TikTok is active anymore. So I should probably remove that. If I'm being truthful, I should probably fucking remove that. Gosh, man, yeah, there's been so much that has been going on here recently, and even up until yesterday. You know, yesterday I just got back from going to a friend's wedding up in New Jersey, and because we were right there, of course I had to stop in Philly. Saw the Rocky statue, got a legit Philly cheesesteak, and just really took everything that the North had to offer, I guess. It was my first time going up that way. So first time going up through Virginia, Delaware, Jersey, Philly. There's another place that I'm forgetting. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but it was fun. It was real fun to really just take a road trip and just head up that way and just see how everything is different from down south. Y'all in the North, y'all are different, bro. Like, why do y'all drive the way that you do? Speed limit? We saw speed limit signs for 55. Motherfuckers were doing warp speed. I kid you not. 55 zone? We ain't never heard of a 55, okay? 85 or nothing. Like, if you're doing 10 over, you're wrong. If you're doing 15 over, you're wrong. 20, guess what? You're still wrong. Unless you are fucking flying at the speed of light, you're wrong. You're just wrong. And fuck you for asking. That's literally just like an unsung rule of the North. Like, it was absolutely insane. Being on those roads, I'm just like, hey, take me back to the South. Take me back to the South, please. Oh my gosh. But it was it was an absolutely fantastic trip. And I got to do it with my fiance. She was sweet enough to go to the wedding with me because it was a childhood friend of mine. Congratulations to him. I don't know if he's gonna listen to this at some point, but congratulations, Jake. You absolutely deserve the best. Nothing but the best wishes for you and your new bride. So congratulations, sir. Thank you for having me. It was a fantastic wedding, and I got to see a whole lot that I probably wouldn't have got to see otherwise. So, thank you for that, my good sir. Play a game with me, man. Shit. I've been trying to get somebody to play No Man's Sky with me. Y'all didn't want to play Dead by Daylight with me, so I just said, fuck that. I just stopped playing that. But yeah, man, fantastic trip. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm just now seeing that I've been recording for 35 minutes, and I'm so sorry. I did not mean for this to go on as long as it did. Apologies. I'm just sitting here just going through my notebook because I had to take some notes down. There was so much that happened, and I actually forgot that I went to a baseball game too. That was fun. You know, Durham Bulls winning. We are winning. First baseball game. Definitely going to go back to another one. But you did not come here for baseball. You did not come here for baseball. You did not come here for Philly cheesesteaks. You did not come here for weddings. You didn't come here for none of that. I know what you came for. I'm sorry. We're getting there. There was a lot to cover. Whew. All right. Let's take a minute. Let me grab a sip of my water real quick. Yes, it's water. You gotta be healthy sometimes. Realized that coming back from this trip, I was like, oh shit, I need to drink more water. Whew, okay. Now that all of that is taken care of, 36 minutes later, we're now officially starting the show. I'm so sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, you already know what the deal is. You already know how we rock. You already know how we do this. Go ahead, grab those cold ones. Pop them open, because I have no idea what day this is coming out, but you better believe it is for the motherfucking boys. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into WCW Thunder from February 23rd, 2000. Know how we're starting Thunder. There ain't no other possible way we can start Thunder than with a Nitro recap. And you better believe I started to type that early. So Nitro was entertaining as fuck. Not gonna lie. They were on some bullshit. Absolutely on some bullshit. But it was entertaining all the same. Kevin Nash is here to start us off, and he's here with hot nurses because, you know, that's just how he rolls. You know, do you expect Kevin Nash to not be here with hot nurses? You're a fool. Fool, I say. So Nash is here with hot nurses, and apparently he has amnesia. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. This is there. But you know what? We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna see how this turns out. Obviously, I know how this turns out, but unless you've seen it, you don't know how this turns out. Bear with me. Walk down memory lane with me. So, Nash is here. He has amnesia. And we then go into this intro for Thunder. Apparently, they have an intro. I don't remember if I said that on the last episode, but apparently Thunder has an intro. And it kicks ass, if we're being honest. The Thunder intro here absolutely kicks all of the ass. I am fucking with it heavy. I absolutely would have been watching this in 2000. I almost said 1999. I absolutely would have been watching this. I would have been watching the WWF too. You know, you gotta have the good wrestling with the what the fuck is going on wrestling. But, you know, I still would have been watching this. So I'm vibing with the intro here. Real good. They have a countdown and everything in it. And they even have a camera zoom at the end. And they have the pyro go off at the same time. Like, mwah, oh my goodness. Chef's kiss. I'm going to also get this out of the way early. 4-3 wrestling fucking rules. Best way to watch wrestling, and you can't convince me otherwise. Well, maybe not modern wrestling, but old school wrestling, WCW, ECW, WWF, AWA, NWA, whatever, what have you. Fantastic. Love watching 4-3 wrestling. So 3 Count are here to kick us off. Dancing, I think. Mike Tenay says that 3 Count are here continuing with their facade of being singers. You didn't have to do that to them. We get a highlight, and the highlight is 3 Count saying that they're gonna kick some ass. And that highlight was actually from SuperBrawl, and I have to go back because I'm pretty sure that this is right after SuperBrawl. I'm pretty sure, I want to say. Sorry, I had to yell at my cat. He's just fucking a crackhead or something. I don't know. We get a highlight from SuperBrawl, and it's 3 Count saying that they're going to start kicking some ass. Are you? Are you really? Yeah, okay. Okay. So we're in Reno, Nevada for this. Okay. It's definitely on my bucket list to go out to Nevada at some point. Who knows? I don't know. I think WrestleMania, actually, yeah. I've seen the commercial for it entirely too many times. Thanks, WWE. WrestleMania 41, right? I think they're up to 41. Is actually going to be going to Las Vegas next year. Oh, I mean, you know, if your boy can go, I might try to go. Might be a wee bit expensive, but, you know, hey, you never know what could happen. A lot of things could happen in just under a year. Jesus, my idea of time is just so skewed. I'm really just hanging out. I'm just going through life right now, just doing what I do. So back to the matchup at hand. It will be Evan Courageous in this matchup representing 3 Count. And his opponent in this matchup tonight is none other than my boy, Fit Finlay, who came out looking like he was ready to whoop some ass. He came out ready. He was like, I've been drinking, and now I'm done. And now it's time to put my foot in somebody's ass. Which, I wholeheartedly approve. I fucking love watching Fit Finlay work. Like, seeing him whoop somebody's ass, like, that's my shit right there, okay? Fit Finlay whooping ass in WCW, like, I'm all for. That's what we need some more of right there. And you know what? We don't really have any characters like Fit Finlay anymore. I mean, kind of Sheamus, maybe Pete Dunne. What's William Regal's kid's name? Like Charlie Dempsey or something like that? Sorry, I had to grab my cat because he's still just running around. He's quite frankly offending me. So, yeah, I think that's his name. We don't really have like the brawler type really anymore. Like a hardcore brawler type, you know, like Fit Finlay, Brian Knobbs, Bam Bam Bigelow, like the hardcore division of WCW pretty much is what I'm getting at. I guess you can kind of throw Sheamus and like Pete Dunne in there, but that's really all I can think of right off the bat. But yeah, love seeing Fit Finlay work here. Fantastic stuff from him. He's got a couple of things that I think I might add to my personal repertoire whenever I start wrestling. Love his tombstone, by the way. Fantastic tombstone. So the matchup between Evan and Finlay is a hardcore match. I don't think I said that at the beginning. But it is a hardcore match, so Evan is fucked 3 ways from Sunday. It's a hardcore match, but the other two members of 3 Count are intervening. To no surprise, it's a hardcore match. Whoop his ass. So Finlay makes his way out to the ring. He gets in and he decks the fuck out of Evan Courageous. Just like literally cleans his clock with a clothesline. Immediately takes him down. Evan slides out. The rest of 3 Count, they're trying to keep Finlay at bay, but he's just taking their fucking lunch money, honestly. We're on the outside now, and Finlay puts a sleeper hold in on Shane Helms. Or he puts on a sleeper hold on Evan, and it's Shane that comes up behind and hits Finlay in the back with a chair. Finlay is able to rebound, though. He says, "Get this shit out of here, man." Finlay then tosses Evan just around the ringside area from fucking pillar to post before tossing him back into the ring. They head back in, and then Evan grabs a chair, holding it the absolute wrong fucking way, by the way. Like, just not holding it correctly at all. Like, holding the legs out towards Finlay. Finlay just gets in the ring. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?" So Finlay grabs the lid of a steel chair, of a trash can. Evan's trying to fend him off with the legs of the steel chair. Finlay just casually kind of walks up slowly, like trying to evade him a little bit, evasive maneuvering, and then just fucking brains him with the lid of the can. God, I want to say steel chair so bad. He cleans his clock with the lid of a can. I almost said it again. Damn it. Finlay hits Evan with a trash can lid. There you go. I don't know why that was so hard to say. I need more caffeine. Shane then gets in, and he hits Finlay in the back with one of the green circles that 3 Count comes out with. It's just their little, like, green screen circle that they dance on for, like, effects purposes. It doesn't help their dancing, but, they can dance inside of a cheese grater now, like every early 2000s R&B artist ever, so that works out for them. Shannon then springboards in with a drop kick, and Finlay says, "Fuck your drop kick. Fuck your green circles. I've had enough of this." So Finlay pretty much immediately gets back up, kicks all of their asses, literally just takes a trash can and just goes around each and every one of them, just mollywopping them. He then picks up Evan and drops him like a sack of potatoes with a tombstone for the 3 Count. Whew, what a first match, man. What a first match. Good way to start off the show, though. I really like this here. Definitely think having the Cruiserweights and the hardcore division, maybe the women's division, if they ever decide they actually want to use them, they'd be a pretty good way to have these beginning and these opening matches. But I like this here. I really like this. I feel like 3 Count, they're really good openers. And Finlay did pretty good with Evan Courageous here in this matchup. And so I would definitely think that they should keep 3 Count as opening guys. Maybe one of them gets the Cruiserweight Championship. Maybe. We're then shown Mike Tenay and Bobby the Brain Heenan behind the desk. They're on commentary for us here tonight. And they tell us tonight we are going to get the total package. My boy, TP, going up against the heavyweight champ, Sid Vicious. And that was another thing that I forgot to mention at the top of the episode. I think it was about a week or two ago. We unfortunately did lose Sid Vicious, so rest in peace, Sid. Damn, man. There's been so many good wrestlers that we've lost these last couple of years. And Psycho Sid, man, that sucks. That really fucking sucks. Gosh, I have nothing but positive things to say about him. He was an interesting promo, to say the very least, but probably one of the best big men in the late 90s, in the early 2000s, and he definitely played an integral part, I want to say, whenever the WWF was coming around from, was it the golden era? I don't want to say the golden era, but like right when they were starting in the Attitude Era, and like when Bret Hart was the WWF champion, and he had like the Hart Foundation with him, and just like early to mid 97, I want to say, Sid definitely played a big factor in the WWF and then WCW. Man, that really sucks. And so just wanted to take a moment to shine a little bit of light and say a few good things about Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, Sid. Gosh, probably one of the best big men to be in professional wrestling in a good while, and he will be sadly missed. But tonight, we are getting the total package versus heavyweight champ Sid Vicious. That's a match. That is a match for sure. Next up, though, we head backstage, and Kevin Nash apparently thinks we need to call Batman because Joker has broken out of the asylum. And what the hell's going on here, bro? This man thinks he's in Gotham. Bro. Did Nash write this? I feel like Nash wrote this. It was either him or Russo. I definitely feel like this was either him or a Russo decision. We're then shown Mean Gene interviewing the NWO, and the ladies are here, of course. I'm not entirely sure that this actually 110% honestly is the real NWO, because all I see here is Jeff Jarrett and the Harris brothers. Whew. Wow, the Harris brothers. Oh boy, WCW wanted you to think that the Harris brothers were just the most devastating and intimidating, and like these were the guys here. Like they really wanted you to believe that. These are in fact not the guys. They're supposed to be rough and tough, and they'll kick your ass, and every single time I see them come out in their little suits and their little sunglasses and their Hawk-Tuah spit shiny ass head, like, especially coming out to the NWO theme song. Whew, what y'all doing? Y'all are the NWO? Y'all are really the NWO? I don't think you're the NWO. I think you're lying to me, and you're trying to sell me on this facade, just like how 3 Count is trying to sell you on the facade that they can sing and dance. You see how they're on some bullshit? I feel like you're on some bullshit too. You're telling me that this is the NWO? This right here. Jeff Jarrett, random woman 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, maybe 5, and the Harris boys. This is the NWO. In the wake of the NWO 2000, which was Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, question mark? Scott Steiner, and Bret Hart. Even that is a fucked version of the NWO. Now, while I fucks with the fucked version of the NWO, they're still pretty fucked. This right here, my friend. This is like if you had the original NWO in universe mode. Like, take one of the earlier wrestling games. Like, hell, take the first game that introduced universe mode. If you had the regular, like the OG NWO, Hall, Nash, and Hogan, right? You took those three and you have them as a tag team, and then you simulate like 50 years into the future. I feel like this is the iteration that would be the NWO like 50 years later. Like, we started with Nash, Hall, and Hogan, and it was like 40 fucking lifetimes ago, and we are now here, and we've simulated into the future, and this is the new NWO. What? I am so confused. Why is this the NWO? This is not a good version of the NWO. And quite frankly, this right here, the NWO Bluegrass Edition, bro, oh my God. Like, y'all didn't want to do anything else. And I've said before in previous episodes, like, this, I really feel that this is the start of, like, Jeff Jarrett having his chokehold kind of on wrestling. Like how Triple H had a chokehold on WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship for, God, from like 2002 until like 2005, 6-ish. I feel like this is the start of Jeff Jarrett just being like, I'm the head honcho. He already says, I'm the one with all the stroke around this place. And he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna drive this motherfucker into the ground. This is my wrestling company right here, and I'm taking over. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna have Vince Russo in charge. That is highly questionable, by the way. I'm also gonna have Kevin Nash maybe in charge. Was Kevin Nash in charge? I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up. But my God. Whew. Hey, this is kind of rough. Not going to lie. Seeing the early stages, especially knowing like how Jeff Jarrett turned out in TNA. Oh my God. I feel like this is like 1.5. Like this is Jeff Jarrett Ruler 1.5. And then we got Jeff Jarrett 2.0 in TNA, and he was just, my world. Like, my world, Jeff Jarrett is a completely different beast. Like, this is literally just, this is puppy stages of my world right here. We're getting to it, but the brainchild that is my world really came together in TNA. So Gene is here. I just got off track. I'm so sorry. So Gene is here interviewing the NWA with ladies, by the way, in their dressing room. And Gene gives no fucks. He says, you ladies don't spend a lot of time on your feet, do you? Hey, yo. Gene just cooked all the women back here. Like, oh! Jeff says he's winning the World Heavyweight Championship on March 19th at Uncensored. That is our next pay-per-view coming up. And he says that the Harris boys are going to do what they did here tonight like they did on Nitro. Oh boy. So more of them. Yippee. Coming back from commercial now, we are greeted by the stolen kid cam. We still have no idea who took it, but quite frankly, they should hold on to it forever. Never give Billy this kid cam back. Please. Never. Ever. 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 Regardless, they're here to spy on the Buff Daddy. Buff Bagwell, who's here trying to hit on Daphne, and that's a decision. What is it with this dude, man? Like, before he was hitting on Symphony, and then Maestro just came up and just fucking pounded his ass into oblivion. Now he's over here trying to hit on Daphne. Like, hey, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Keep it in your pants. Jesus, this dude's like my dad. I was hoping that she would scream at him, and she did. She did, so I got my wish. I'm happy. Mike Tenay, he just randomly said, oh, they should have casted her in Scream 3. Hey, yo. Now, I'm a horror buff. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a horror buff. So anytime I hear any of my favorite movies from horror films mentioned in any other form of media, my ears immediately perk up, and I'm just like, hey, yo. Oh, for true? True and true? Okay. Real quick, I want to make a little note. Once again, 4-3 wrestling rules. Just had to squeeze that in there. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. So Ric Flair comes out next up, and he has Hulk Hogan's weightlifting belt. Mike on commentary then says that Rick and the Total Package are apparently calling themselves Team Package. Anyway, Rick says, I've been to some nothing happening cities, but damn, Reno takes the cake. He then picks a dude out of the crowd and says, would you like me to take your girl home tonight and let her ride Space Mountain? Oh my, Rick is just on one. He's like, hey yo, I'll take your bitch. First off, fuck your bitch and the click you claim. Fuck Hulk Hogan. Actual words of Ric Flair. This is also another word for word Ric Flair. This is Armani, by the way. Just had to let you know. Just had to throw that in there. Because if there's one thing you can count on with Ric Flair, it is fuck Hulk Hogan. And this is Armani, which is actually two things. So you can count on two things. Buy one, get one free. There you go. Gave you one, gave you two, even though you asked for one. Flair says, why can't I find someone to wrestle here tonight? I'm a 14-time world champion. I've made Hulk Hogan my bitch. I am with the package. Why can I not find anybody to wrestle me here in this absolutely nothing city that is Reno, Nevada? Take a guess who comes out. Because it's not the person that you think it is, but take a guess who comes out. Did you guess? Yeah? Wrong. Vampiro comes out. Or if you ask Bobby the Brain, Vampiro. And he does this throughout the entire segment, throughout the entire match that Vampiro and Rick have later on. He calls him Vampiro, and I am absolutely for sure that he is doing that just for shits and giggles. Vamp comes out and says, you know, I got a lot of respect for you, Rick, but you got me tonight. So what are you saying? You respect him? Yeah, you know, I respect you and all, but unfortunately you have me. Oh, way to sound confident in yourself, my guy. So he says, yeah, unfortunately, you have me. But he says, you know what? I don't want to wrestle you right now, but in 15 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to kick your ass. Y'all don't want to rumble now or nothing? Y'all don't want to have an unscheduled brawl or nothing like that? I mean, even if it was scheduled, apparently y'all just don't go by scheduling. It's just like my job. It's just literally like my job. Oh no, I'm starting to get hiccups. So Vamp sets up the match for later on tonight, and so we can expect to see Vampiro versus Ric Flair here in a little bit. Next up, though, we have Mean Gene, and he is backstage, and he is interviewing La Parka. I highly doubt this is La Parka's actual voice. Bro, this is one of the worst dubs I have ever had the displeasure of fucking putting my ears to the screen and being forced to listen to. Coming back from commercial now. Well, actually, before we get into that, I do want to take a quick second and say that this episode of the Wrestle Ramble podcast is powered by W Energy. W is a fast-growing energy formula that'll get you laser focused, and there's no worries about the jitters or crash because it's sugar-free. And whether you're a gamer, content creator, or you're just looking for an energy boost, W has you covered. Visit w.gg and use code WrestleRamble to save 10% off your order at checkout. A special thank you again to W Energy for partnering with us here at the Wrestle Ramble. Now back to where I was. Sorry, I just have to go through my notes here again. I just lost where I was. Here we go. So we're back from commercial now. And David Flair asked Daphne, so what was all that about? Why were you sitting there and why were you talking to Buff? And she says, nah, you don't have to worry about anything. You know I only like blondes. Huh. Okay. Next up, we're treated to the commish, Kevin Nash, and he's apparently waiting for Batman still. And now he wants to call Alfred because, you know, that's just what you do whenever you can't get a hold of Batman. You call Alfred. He called a random guy and they showed him. It was literally just a random dude. And the dude is just sitting there and he's like, what the hell was that? Whomst are you? Like, oh my God. I laughed out loud at that. That was pretty funny. I really did enjoy that. Next up, we have Berlin. What did they do to my man, Alex? With the sideburns? With the sideburns. If you have never seen a picture of Berlin, I implore you, please, just go on Google and type in Berlin the Wrestler. This is a look. This man looks like if he were in The Matrix, if The Matrix were done in Germany. And I feel like that was my design. Who said this was a good idea? You're from Germany? You're from Germany. Your name will be Berlin. That's like what they did with Walter. Why did they have to change his name? Walter was perfectly fine. And then this man comes up to the main roster and they're like, Walter? Walter. Never heard of a Walter. You? Gunther? Gunther? You will be Gunther. And there is no Walter. There will never be another Walter. There is no Walter, only Zool. Gunther! But, oh my God, Berlin is out next. It makes me sad to see Alex Wright, like this. Alex Wright, like. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, this podcast is the way it is. So Berlin is out. Makes his way down to the ring, gets in, grabs the mic, immediately. USA, 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 USA. He speaks in German, and then he says, I am Berlin. I am from Germany. Good, yes, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, because I was starting to think that you were from Berlin, Kentucky. The haircut on this man. The haircut, wow. Yeah, it is, it is there. La Parka is out next. Actually, La Parka, the real thing, it's not Medusa this time. La Parka makes his way out to the ring, and then we're shown a couple of highlights from Nitro, which, as I just mentioned, it was Medusa in cosplay as La Parka. We were shown the highlight that was Oklahoma unmasking her and revealing her as the true La Parka, the one true La Parka. Bobby then says if Kevin Nash continues with this Batman gimmick, he might start to think that Tony is Robin and Mike is like Shivani? What? Maybe I just typed that wrong in my notes, but what? So nothing really happens in this match, if I am being quite honest. You really could skip this match and it would not hinder you at all. Towards the end of it, though, it doesn't go for very long. Towards the end of it, La Parka springs up to the top rope from the apron on the outside, and he hits a corkscrew, and that's enough to pin Germany. I mean Berlin. Mike says, congrats to La Parka getting a win over a top WCW opponent. Are you sure about that? From there, we're shown a graphic for the main event. As I said before, it's Sid Vicious versus the Total Package, with Miss Elizabeth, of course. We're then shown Buff backstage, and apparently he doesn't watch the fucking show, because he says 2 weeks in a row, Kid, Cam, Kidman, what's going on? Literally says it like that. Bro, do you not watch this damn show at all? Did you literally not see that Buddy had his camera stolen? Kidman? Kid Cam? What's going on? We're showing a lightning lower third that says Buff Bagwell will go one-on-one with David Flair tonight. And then we go to a commercial break. Coming back from there now, we're then treated to Mean Woo Gene, who is here to interview Tank Abbott, and the Skins match sucked at the show. Let's be real. Skins match was not great. I'm pretty sure I saw Tank grab a knife and hold it to Big Al, I think that was the guy's name, hold it to his throat, and pretty much be like, I could fucking kill you right now. How this man is still employed here is just a miracle to me. So Gene is interviewing Tank, and then out of nowhere, Vincent comes up and he says, look, man, I'm looking for a fight. I'm here to challenge you one-on-one for a match later on tonight. And apparently he's no longer going by Vincent or Virgil or whatever other 30 names he has. Apparently he is going just by his normal name, Mike Jones, and I have no idea if that's his actual name, but I'm going to say that it is, because whenever he comes out later on, Bobby the Brain says that sounds like an alias, so I'm going to say that that's his actual name. Wow. Next up, we are treated to the Buff Bagwell and David Flair match. Buff is out first, and we're showing a couple of highlights from Nitro, which was Buff Bagwell versus the Maestro. We're showing those highlights while Buff Bagwell's music informs you as to how oh so sexy he is. Just in case you missed the memo on that, and just in case you did not know, Buff Bagwell is in fact oh so sexy. David is out next, and he comes out with a golden crowbar, and Daphne follows with him, of course. The match starts, and Buff actually laughs at David. They go for a lockup. They tussle around a little bit. David actually body slams Buff and then turns around to taunt SVR style. He turns around and turns into a big scoop slam from Buff, who returns the favor in kind. Buff then slaps and just fucking puppeteers David around into a pose off, like the most disrespectful thing you could do. Literally, like, he poses him with David's arms up, David's little squeak arms, and then you just see boom right behind them, just fucking eclipsing them or something. So David goes low, hits him in the goyooms, and then does Buff strut. Doesn't do it anywhere near as good as Buff, by the way, and just in case you couldn't put that together, but doesn't do it anywhere near as good as the way Buff does. Buff, he gets in there. Buff gets down with it. He hits him with the ooh. That's exactly how Buff gets down. I don't know what David was doing, but it wasn't ooh worthy. I can tell you that much right now. So Maestro comes out because apparently the dudes around here, they're just tired of Buff Bagwell trying to hit on their women. So Maestro comes out. David then gets sent into the ropes. Daphne is up on the apron at this point, I should make mention. David gets sent off into the ropes, and that causes Daphne to go flying off the apron, and she lands into Maestro, who's now made his way down to the ringside area. Buff then hits an inverted DDT, and it's enough to keep David down for 3. So, after the bell, Maestro gets in and then attacks Buff Bagwell. Big back body drop, though, from Buff fighting off Maestro, and then clotheslines him over the top rope. So, Buff is able to fend off not only Maestro, but also able to get the win over David Flair, so congrats to him. Next up, we have Tank Abbott going up against Mike Jones, aka Vincent, aka Virgil, aka Shane, aka Curly Bill. My God. Who are you? What's your name? Coming back from the break now, Vampiro is apparently warming up in a wooden crate. What the hell's going on here? Next up, we have, in my notes, this is where I was talking about it earlier. Bobby says that Mike's name sounds like an alias whenever he's making his way out to the ring. Great line there. Bobby the Brain had some fantastic zingers whenever he was on commentary. Like, Bobby was definitely one of the best to do it. So both combatants come out. They scuffle outside the ring for like 5 seconds. The match is not long at all. Like, Tank comes out, Virgil, Vincent, Curly Bill, Shane, identify yourself, comes out. He hits the ring. He pretty much stuns Tank for a second, getting a couple shots in. They scuffle to the outside, like I said. Double axe handle from the apron to Tank from Vincent, Virgil, Curly Bill, Curly Mo. Tank then picks his ass up because the double axe handle pretty much did nothing. Tank picks his ass up, puts him back into the ring. They get in. They scuffle again for a little bit. This match is literally nothing. This is the most nothing match, which is why I'm trying to make it sound as interesting as it is, or as I can. So they get back in. Virgil, Vincent, Shane, Curly Bow, Curly Mill. He gets in. He has a strike. Stuns Tank for a second, right? Tank is like, let me show you a real right hook. So then Tank is able to rebound. He gets that right hook,
And then before the referee can even call for the bell, as he usually does, Tank is already making his way outside the ring. He's already on the apron. He's like, all right, I'm going to go get my check. I'm done. I'm going to go with the beer. Catch you on the flip. Now we have a 14-time heavyweight champion of the world, Ric Flair, on his way out to the ring. And we go to commercial. Coming back from commercial break now, Commissioner Kevin Nash is here with the random dude that he called earlier. He's clearly losing his mind. Vamp comes out first, then the Nature Boy, and then we're shown a couple of highlights from Ric Flair and the Total Package taking out Hulk Hogan on this past Monday night's episode of Nitro. Fantastic episode. Again, very entertaining. Has a little bit of bullshit, but overall is a good watch. They go through the feeling out process here in the beginning of this matchup, if you know what I mean, and you know what I'm saying. Vamp has it early in... I can't talk. Vamp has it in the early going, though. He eventually sends Ric Flair to the outside. Vamp then brings Ric Flair back into the ring with a suplex over the top rope. So he's bringing him back in the hard way. Vamp and Flair go through a couple of chops in this match. And Flair pretty much just says, "Bitch, let me show you how to chop." At one point, Vampiro is looking for a diving leg drop, but he misses. And Flair actually takes the opportunity to attack the knee. And then from there, he just takes it right to Vamp's knee with a couple of chops. You know, standard Ric Flair stuff. Chops and stomps. Flair's just doing Flair things, you know, attacking the knee, trying to soften it up for that figure four, baby. Vamp then tries an inside cradle, but it only gets 2 count. The Total Package and Elizabeth come out because what's an episode of WCW in 2000 without a little bit of interference in at least majority of the matches? So Vampiro is going up to the top rope for a moonsault maybe, but Elizabeth gets up on the apron, so she's distracting the referee. And while she's distracting the ref, TP gets up on the other side of the apron, apron, what the hell is an apron? Package gets up on the other side of the apron, and he has the baseball bat that he's been utilizing for the last couple of weeks. And while Vampiro is up top, possibly looking for a moonsault or something, maybe a corkscrew, I don't know. We saw that worked for La Parka earlier whenever he beat Germany, Berlin. So, who knows? Regardless, whatever he was looking for, it doesn't fucking matter, because fuck you and your move, boy. Because TP gets up on there, he has the bat, and then he smacks Vampiro's leg. Just like a running head start, has the bat, and then just wallops right the left knee. I'm sorry. He takes out that left knee. To no surprise, Vampiro fucking crumbles off the top rope, takes a dive down. Ric Flair is able to rebound, takes advantage. He gets back up, and then he locks in the figure four. He locks in the figure four. Vamp taps out. The Package then gets in and starts laying the boots to him because fuck this guy. And then Flair gets the weightlifting belt and then starts going town on Vampiro while TP is still laying the boots to him. Fuck this kid in particular. Actual words by Ric Flair and TP. We'll hear from Dustin Rhodes next. And oh boy, wait till I start talking about what this man is wearing. But before we get there, we have a commercial break. Coming back from that break now, Vamp is backstage stretching his leg out, you know, trying to loosen up those knots a little bit. And then Mike says Vampiro is apparently going to get a reverse call for the match. And so apparently he's won now. So congratulations, you've defeated Ric Flair. Only to then get attacked by Fit Finlay. Fuck this guy in particular. Literally everybody. Ric Flair, Total Package, Elizabeth, and now Fit Finlay. Like, they're just not having it. They're not having it. And even Billy Kidman to a couple of degrees a couple of weeks ago. You know what? I'm going to leave that in too. Up until a couple of weeks ago, Vamp had a rivalry going on with Billy Kidman. Kidman, don't call him Billy, sorry. So, everybody's just got a vendetta for this man. Like, fuck this guy. You and your stupid face paint. Sting, you are not. Heading backstage for a second, we are now shown Booker, don't call him T, and he is talking to Billy. No, I'm sorry, not Billy Kidman. Don't call him Billy. Don't call him Billy. Who is also here? Tori Wilson. You already know. You can't hear him for the first couple of seconds, though. If you want to hear this promo, no, you don't. You don't. At least as far as the audio techs are concerned on the WCW side. If anybody wanted to hear this segment right here, that's just too damn bad now, isn't it? Well, eventually they get it to work. And Booker T is pretty much just saying, look, man, just watch my back tonight, okay? Kidman doesn't really look entertained by the idea, but he pretty much just is like, yeah, whatever, I guess. Watch mine, I'll watch yours, whatever. Next, we have Dustin coming out, and oh my goodness. Dustin comes out here looking like the red Teletubby with the Undertaker's trench coat on. Like, bro, what are you wearing? Poe, I think its name was. I don't remember if it was a dude or a dudette. Either way, dude comes out looking like Poe, the red Teletubby, and he has either Edge's or Undertaker's trench coat on, red bandana on, so he's just like, he's like fucking dripped out, at least in his mind, he's concerned. He's dripped out of his mind. Man, over here, I think he had red shoes on too, so he's just like the whole color coordination. And this man said, y'all can't touch my drip. Well, nobody can touch your drip because nobody wants to touch your drip. I don't know what the fuck you're wearing, but you need to take it off. Okay? Now, as he's getting into the ring, as he's making his way up the stairs, he actually does take the jacket off, but, oh my God, this man, this is the most fucked fucker. Like, this dude is fucked up. Like, forever in my memory, I will now have Dustin Rhodes in just all red shirt, red pants, I'm pretty sure red shoes, red bandana. I think he might have had red gloves and a black trench coat. Like, that image is forever burned into my brain. And whenever I start talking about WCW in 1999, I cannot wait to start talking about the debut of Seven. Just seven. But Dustin is here to cut a promo, and he says that he's pretty much been doing everything for the fans these last couple of years, and he's sick of it. He wants to do things for himself. It is his time. Terry Funk was selfish. He's an old fart. He's an old bastard. And quite frankly, he should have put the ambulance in. He actually says this in the promo, but this isn't me just like gaslighting or just like making shit up how I usually do. No. He actually says this. He says he should have put the ambulance in reverse, and he's not done because he says if he sees Terry Funk again, he will kill Terry Funk. Like, Bro, this is on TBS. This is just on a normal TV station. And you just, imagine it's just 2000. You're just flipping through the channels. You're just trying to see what's on. And then you flip to Thunder. And then you see it's Dustin Rhodes in the ring cutting a promo. And he's just like, yeah, I'll fucking kill Terry Funk. Fuck that guy. Oh my. Sir, we're just murking fools on WCW. Like, what was going on in, like, late 99, 2000? We got dudes saying, oh yeah, I'll fucking kill you, bro. Stone Cold's over in the WWF getting run over and shit. Like, oh my god. And then I believe later on this year, leading up to the Armageddon Hell in a Cell at the Armageddon pay-per-view, Stone Cold dropped Triple H in a car from, it was like a forklift or something. I don't exactly remember what it was. But y'all were wild in the early 2000s. This is that good shit right here. Motherfuckers getting ran over. There's fucking, like, yeah, I'll kill you. Like, yo, this is prime time wrestling right here. This is my shit right here. So, after Dustin pretty much gets done with his promo, we're treated to the living legend, rest in peace, Terry Funk. He comes up on the Tron, and he's on his Red Foreman shit. He says that both Dusty and Dustin, you're just a big pile of horse shit. You're no better than your dad. And quite frankly, if you want to run back the Rhodes-Funk rivalry, hey, that ain't nothing but a thing. I'll toot that sumbitch. He's like, I'll fuck your dad up and I'll fuck you up too. And that ain't nothing but a thing, homie. So, Dustin apparently doesn't like that. He didn't like that, not too much at all. Like, not a little bit. Not even, no way, no how. He was not standing for it. So what does he do? He gets outside of the ring and starts whooping the ass of just the ringside crew. Why? No particular reason. Didn't have like anything going on with him. Like, they didn't mess up his promo or anything. He was literally just mad at Terry Funk and what Funk said, and he was like, ring crew. Oh no. That's just like, what if I went to a DCW show and they're like, fuck this camera guy in particular. I'm so sorry. I'm just here to work. Those guys, he literally just like beats up 3 dudes. Like, they're literally just there to do their job. And Dustin was like, you know what? Fuck you, Terry. And your existence, ring crew, I'm gonna take that personally. And then just proceeds to beat him up. Next up, we find out that Crowbar is apparently getting a Cruiserweight title shot. That's news to me. We then head to a commercial break, but once we come back, we are then shown Terry Taylor, who is here with WCW referee number 3, Mickey J. I think that's his name. Don't quote me, but I think that's Mickey J. Apparently, he's got beef with Slick Johnson, my boy from TNA. And Mickey J is pretty much here to say, hey, lift that suspension, because I got some bones I gotta make with this here Slick Johnson feller. And Terry Taylor says, yeah, by all means, knock yourself out. And knock him out too. And so it works. We're then headed out to the ring for the Cruiserweight Championship match. Prince Iaukea comes out, the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea. He comes out and gets flicked off. Paisley gets into the ring and she says, get ready to blast off into drugs or something. I don't know. Crowbar hits the ring, and you know what? I started to notice this, and I'm glad that Bobby the Brain noticed it too, because he says it pretty much as I was thinking it. I was like, you know what? I'm starting to notice a common denominator here tonight. You know, I'm noticing a pattern. Everybody's losing their mind, apparently. Everybody's going nuts, and there's no signs of it slowing down. All right, so we get the match going. Prince sends Crowbar over the ropes, but he skims the cat and takes Prince over. Splash off of the apron to the champ from Crowbar. Crowbar at one point grabs a pipe and then tries to head inside, but the referee stops him. Prince hits a gnarly looking dragon screw leg whip in this. I like his dragon screws. They look really, really effective. He gets a good snap with it. Prince then goes for the DDT off the second rope, but Crowbar counters with a Northern Lights suplex. Gets 2 count though. The two men trade blows on the top rope, and then they both fall off. Nobody wins in that situation, and honestly look kind of bad for both of them. At one point, while they're trying to regroup from that, Daphne actually slides into the ring and distracts the champion. Paisley gets into the ring. She slaps the fuck out of Crowbar. And then she goes over because she notices that Prince IK is being distracted by Daphne. She goes over and then she tries to grab the hair of Daphne, but Daphne has a purple wig on, and that's apparently what was distracting Prince IK. But Paisley walks over, goes to rip the hair off, the wig comes flying off, and then Prince is like, ew, whoa, your hair's not purple. They start to cat fight. While that's going on, Crowbar rushes Prince, who eats a sidekick from the champ. The champ then goes up to the second rope and nails his DDT for the 3. Next up, we have the Wall. And he's going up against Disco Fever, Disco Fever, Disco Fever, yeah. That matchup is up next. But before we can get to that match, of course, we gotta have a commercial break, ski-poo. Coming back from that now, we are then shown once again the main event graphics. And then we're shown Mean Gene, who is interviewing the heavyweight champ, who says words. He says, you can't beat the master of the master. Yeah, hell, you get it. Nash sees Sid laughing, and then he says, look, hot nurses, it's the Joker. Now, hot nurse number 2 says, since Batman is busy, maybe we could call Metropolis and get Superman. And Nash says, are you stupid? Like, he's a comic book hero. Unhand me, you scoundrel. Kevin Nash is actually a really entertaining part of this episode. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of cheesy. It kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, well, it kind of does, but it kind of doesn't make sense. But I'm entertained by it. I'm entertained. And really, that's all you can ask for. Going to our next match now. The Wall comes out first, and we're shown a couple of highlights from his wins over the Demon at SuperBrawl, and then his win over Bam Bam Bigelow from this past Monday night on Nitro. Disco Inferno and the Italian Mob, aka the Paisans, aka the... what is their other name? Oh my god, I don't remember what their original name was. So the Italian Mob and Disco Inferno are making their way out to the ring. As they're making their way out to the ring, they're about to walk into the gorilla area, and they walk past definitely not standards and practices, and they literally don't do anything. They just ignore them, and standards and practices, not standards and practices, apparently took offense to that. And so they attack the Italian Mob, leaving Disco by himself. Well, Disco doesn't realize he's by himself. So Disco makes his entire entrance. He goes out to the ring. He goes up the steps, goes up onto the apron, and then as he is turning around. He goes to open the ropes, and then he realizes crickets. He's by himself. So now he has to face the wall. Once he realizes that he's by himself and he has to face the wall, and he's like, hey, look, no offense or anything, you know, I had a match picked out for you, but I guess that's not happening now, so I guess we both have the night off. And so he tries to leave, and then the wall is just like, yeah, you gonna get this ass whooping whether you want it or not, so pucker up, boy. So this match honestly doesn't last for very long. Like, by the time it takes you to put on a pot of coffee, this match was over. The wall makes quick work of disco fever. So it's nothing to really ride home about, okay? Coming up next, though, we have Kidman, don't call him Billy, and Booker, don't call him T, facing the NWS. You know what? That works. I did not mean to do that. That works. That works. So Billy Kidman and Booker T are going against the NWS. That would be the Harris Boys. That matchup is up next. But before we can get there, to no surprise, we have a commercial break. Have a Snickers, you're not you when you're hungry. NWS. I can't believe I actually did that. I should probably edit that out. Coming back from commercial now, we have the total package and Elizabeth being interviewed by Mean Gene, really focusing on that body. Like, really, was that really all like Lex Luger did? 6'5", 4% body fat. Sir, you realize that you have to do more than just look the part, right? You have to, like, be good at the wrestling. Cool if you're an alright promo. Cool if you have the physique of a Greek god. Like, you could be on your Kratos shit. But unless you're, you know, I mean, you don't have to be a technical wizard in the ring. But unless you're, like, real good, hey, yo, my man, you're gonna need a little bit more than that six-pack that you got going on there. But, yeah, you know, to each their own. Apparently, a lot of people like Lex Luger. I've never really been the biggest fan of him. I thought he was alright. You know, just that whole era of professional wrestling where they mainly focused on, like, how big your body was. I mean, like, yeah, that's alright, but, you know, trying to see motherfuckers get hit with guitars and shit. I'm trying to see people get hit with guitars and shit, go through some glass panes, you know, have a technical masterpiece or something, like, something. Heading out for the match now, Kidman, don't call him Billy, is out first. And we're shown a highlight from Nitro of the Harris Boys taking out both Billy Kidman and Booker T. My note here just says, bro. Seeing the Harris Boys come out to the NWO music is LOL. I don't know what to make of them, but I'm sorry, I can't take them seriously. I can't, and I don't know why, but, like, they just don't say NWO to me. And they just don't. No Jeff Jarrett here, interestingly enough. The boys beat up Billy Kidman in the early going. They pretty much beat him up into the point where Booker gets the hot tag. Booker comes in like a damn rain of fire. He gets the tag. He hits the Olympic slam. He hits the bookend right into an axe kick. Like, this man gets in and then he goes crazy. Like, he goes crazy. He then hits a leg sweep. This man is just, put the belt on him now. Put the belt on him. He deserves it. Especially after that Boulder Dash with Stevie Ray and Big T. Man, give him some kind of strap. Y'all took his letter. No more T's around here, bro. Y'all took his music. No more. Or wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Ooh, something like that, right? Like ooh. That's how it goes, right? That one part. Ooh, you know what I mean, right? I don't know if I'm doing it right. Woo. That's right? That should be it. Leg sweep from Booker T. I'm so sorry. Leg sweep from Booker T, and it gets broken up. Booker is going crazy until he's not. Why is he not going crazy anymore? Because his ass gets planted with a preparation H-bomb. And yes, I know it's not actually called a preparation H-bomb, but guess what? The Harris boys are kind of the drizzling shits. Well, at least as far as the NWO is concerned. Hell, at least as far as I'm concerned. So, preparation H-bomb it is. So that's actually enough to get the 3 count, and oh man, I can't believe the Harris boys are actually winning. The Harrises are winning. It is now time for the main event. So of course, we have to build up to that just a little bit. Going from that last match, we now see the world champ backstage being weird, walking around and doing some kind of preamble crowd amping. He's just walking around and he's like, and then they're saying, Sid. Okay, I mean, I guess, bro. You know, whatever you got to do to get you in the zone, you know, whatever works. I guess. Coming back from the commercial break now, of course, did you think that we would get through to the main event and not have a commercial break? You are foolish mortal. Commercial break for you. Buy something. So coming back from commercial break now, Total Package is out first. I think his pyro was late in the ring, honestly, because he goes to raise the hand of Elizabeth, and then as they both raise their hands, pyro from the ring post go off, and so he kind of jumps a little bit. So I think his pyro might have been a little bit late. Either that, or he just wasn't expecting it for some reason. So we get a shot of Jeff Jarrett and co. backstage. Jeff Jarrett and co., of course, being Jeff Jarrett and the Harris boys, dropping those preparation H-bombs like only they can, of course. So we're showing them backstage just because. So Sid comes out to his music that sounds like it's some shit from 90210. I don't know who thought this was a good idea for anybody, let alone good music for the heavyweight champ. But I'm here to tell you that it is in fact not. And you should change that as soon as you can. Tall men in Speedos. That is the best way to describe this match. Nothing happens in this match. Lex attacks from the start, or Lex attacks from behind to start. God, there is really not much to tell here with this one. I didn't really like this main event. I didn't really like it. There wasn't really anything to touch base on. I mean, Sid goes for a power bomb, and then Ric Flair hits the ring. Sid tosses him back. He fights off both Total Package and Ric Flair for a little bit. You know, he's taking it to him. He's doing good for a little bit. And then Liz gives the bat to Lex. Sid goes to powerbomb Ric Flair, and then Total Package takes out the leg with the bat. From there, the referee calls for the bell. The ref, I want you to know, Ric Flair gets in the ring and he actually lays his hands on Sid. Multiple times. Ric Flair interfering? No. Bat to the leg? Yes, that is why we're ending this match. And then, just for good measure too, they say, fuck you, Charles Robinson. And then Ric Flair hits him too. He's literally just like, yeah, well, you ain't little Nate tonight, bitch. Literally, and then that's just how it ends. That's how it ends. Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry, I misspoke. There was one more shot. Right? Right. So the Harris boys and Jeff Jarrett, they're like, oh, hell's breaking down out there. How about we go get a little piece of that action? So they leave from their locker room. They're making their way out to the ring, right? And apparently they already had the WCW committee, I'm assuming. They already had this, like, thought ahead. Like, they already had an idea that Jeff Jarrett and co. was going to try and do some malarkey like this. So what do? To prevent Jeff Jarrett and the Harris boys from making their way out to the ring, they literally pretty much, like, set up a roadblock. It's security people and then referees. So Mickey J, the referee who was talking to Terry Taylor earlier, trying to get Slick Johnson off of the suspension because apparently he wants a match with him. Mickey J says, we've been told to not let you or the Harris brothers anywhere near the ringside area. Well, and that's according to the committee. That's according to the committee. So Jeff Jarrett, to no surprise, does not like this answer. He says, well, I want you to take this message back to the committee. And oh no, as soon as he says, I want you to take this message back to the committee, I'm just like, oh no. He kicks Mickey J in the midsection, and then sayonara, guitar shot over the head. Mickey J falls down in a fucking heap. And then the show just ends. The lower third comes onto the screen, and then that's just it. So we don't know if Jeff Jarrett and the Harris boys actually made it out to the ringside area or not. We don't know what happened with the total package and Ric Flair and the heavyweight champ out in the ringside area. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. That's literally it. They signed off so quickly, and that was just that. Oh my god. Like, WCW is crazy, man. WCW is so crazy, and God, I wish that I had the ability to watch it whenever it was live and it was actually happening. Man, that would have been awesome to see, because you can't make this stuff up, man. And then just the anticipation, the eagerness of just waiting to see what WCW was going to be like from week to week, and compare that to the WWF. Man, I wish I could have been at least conscious during those Monday Night War times. Like, that was... Oh man, that would have been great. But hey, that's why we have services like Peacock or the network or wherever you get your wrestling from. That's why we have the services like this now. And this is why I have this show, so that way I can go back, look at all these moments, and talk with them and just shoot the shits with you guys about it for a little bit. And just have some fun talking about some weird ass kooky wrestling that happened a long time ago. But hey, we don't have to go to a long time ago to get some kooky crazy ass wrestling. I could do that nowadays with like DPW, in which hell, I might cover DPW at some point, who knows. Or I might actually cover WWE or AEW, or maybe one of the bigger companies like New Japan. I don't know. We will see what the future holds, but that is going to be for another time. I have already gone so far over the time that I wanted to go, and so I'm thinking this is probably going to be one of, if not the longest episode to date. So, sorry about that. It took a little bit to get going in the beginning, but I really wanted to catch everybody up. And so that way everybody knows exactly what's been going on in my life, why the uploads have taken a little bit of time to get up and running. I do still have that SSD video that I'm working on. I still also have that expedition video for No Man's Sky that I will be working on. I already have a couple of video ideas lined up. I have a lot of video ideas that I'm going to be addressing over time as it goes on. And so just make sure that you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Can't get my words out, but hey, that's okay. We're about 2 hours into the show now. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that YouTube channel. As I said at the top of the episode, that is CyberAngelusX. My last video that I did, I believe it was actually the W review video, but I actually within that time have uploaded the podcast to YouTube, and so that should be uploaded there. And so we'll actually continue rocking and rolling over there to try and reach the audience over there. And so, as I said earlier, I have a couple of ideas that I'm just playing around with, trying to get a feel for it, see exactly what it is I want to do. And then I also have another video that I will be working on here shortly after that, and that one's going to be a little bit of a surprise for you guys. Oh, and then I also have my Steam Deck video, just my overall general review for the Steam Deck that I'll be working on, but that is going to take a little bit of time. And, you know, I'm not in any rush to do any of these videos or do the podcast or anything like that. You know, I have fun with them where I have the time to do them, and so hopefully, you know, you guys will understand. I appreciate it if you do. And all of the audience members that have stuck around and have been patiently waiting for me to upload something, I thank you. I thank you kindly. I would not be able to do this without your help. Just seeing those numbers grow, that's something that really helps me with making out the content. And, you know, I really enjoy doing all this, and it just takes a little bit of time for me to sit and actually have the ability to do it. But there's nothing else. Well, there's a couple of things that I'd like to do, but this is definitely one of the things that I would like to regularly come back to and maybe make something of one day. You know, we'll see how time goes. We'll see what life has in store for us. But I'm going to stop rambling now because, like I said, I've already gone so far past the time that I wanted to go past. And if you have made it this far, I thank you so much. You are the realest of the real MVP. And I'm going to have to do something for you. I'm going to have to do something for all of you special listeners that make it all the way through to the end, because I know these tend to be a little bit long sometimes, but we're making it. You know, we're going to get better. We're going to try things out here and there. We're going to see what works, and we're just going to keep the ball rolling, baby. We're just going to keep it going. But thank you all so much for listening. I greatly appreciate you. If you could just leave a rating and a review, that would greatly help with the expansion of the podcast and get us in front of a new audience. Thank you so much for listening. Check out CyberAngelusX over on YouTube. I have a lot of stuff that'll be going on over there. Visit w.gg and use code Wrestle Ramble. You'll save 10% off your order at checkout, and that greatly helps the show. I would greatly appreciate you for that too. And with all that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode of the Wrestle Ramble. We'll catch you on the next one. And man, oh man, it's going to be a good one.